So you just picked up Gears of War 4, or maybe you've been playing it for a while now, and you want to get good at playing Gears of War 4 Horde and really good at playing Scout. I have some tips and tricks for you that will help you get really good at playing Scout and play it at a high level. Hey guys, it's Chris with Blind Man's Bluff Gaming. Welcome back, and I hope you're doing awesome today. Now to start with, guys, I did do a Scout guide for Gears of War 4 almost a year ago, so I decided to go back and update it and make it better, and I do have a couple tips in here that weren't in the other video. Now just to give you an overview of Horde, how it works, there are two roles in Horde that are critically important. The first role is the engineer, because they can repair fortifications cheaper, buy them cheaper, and also have cards that can actually make fortifications a lot stronger. Now the second role is the Gears of War 4 Horde Scout. Now the Scout is critically important because they're the ones who pick up the power on the map. Now the important thing to know here is that if you pick up power during combat, it doubles the power. Along with this, a card you want to have on your Scout at all times is Deposit Bonus, which at level 6 will give you a 60% bonus on your power when you deposit. And Deposit Bonus you can deposit anytime, it doesn't matter. How to make your Gears of War 4 Horde Scout class stronger. Now if you're new to Gears of War 4 Horde, how it works is you buy Horde booster packs, and in those packs you find skill cards, which as those cards accumulate, you get more and more of the same card. You can level up those skills and make your class stronger. Now for the Scout, I recommend you focus on getting your Deposit Bonus to level 6 and your health boost to level 6. Now along with Horde booster cards, you can also craft cards using the scrap system. Now basically what you can do is you can scrap duplicate cards and get scrap from them, and also scrap cards you don't want. For example, if you don't play multiplayer, you can go through and scrap all your multiplayer bounties and your multiplayer characters such as the Swarm and DBs, because you can't use them in Horde anyway, and get all that extra scrap. In addition, many people will just scrap the skins and characters. You know, maybe they get duplicates of a certain character as well that they just scrap, and then, you know, they can use that to build up their cards. Gears of War 4 Scout builds. Now, I have 4 builds for you guys. Now, these are just guides. These are just starting points. So, try out the build, experiment, see what you like as far as skills go, and go from there. Now, to start with Scout build number 1. Now, this build is for general use. I use this build pretty much all the time, except if I'm, you know, playing Insane or Inconceivable. Now, the first skill is Deposit Bonus, because you get up to 60% bonus power on deposit. The second skill is Health Boost, because you get up to 120% bonus health, which makes a huge difference. Shotgun Damage, because it will increase the power of both your Nasher and your Overkill. Pickup Radius, because man, it makes a huge difference how much faster you can pick up power. And the last one is Health Regeneration, which essentially at level 6 you're either full health, red, or dead. I mean, there's no in between, you're just gone. Now for my second Scout build, this is what I like to call the Slayer Scout. Now for this build, this is something I would play on like casual through hardcore. Now for the first skill, again, Deposit Bonus. Second skill, Health Boost. Third skill, Shotgun Damage. Fourth skill, Shotgun Magazine Size. Now this is especially nice for the Overkill, because you get that extra 4 or 5 rounds or 6 rounds at level 6, and you can just unload and pretty much kill anything with it, especially Scions or Guardians, etc. Now for the fifth skill, either Health Regeneration, Speed Boost. A lot of people like a lot of different things here. Some people really like Rage, whatever you prefer. Gears of War 4 Scout build number 3. This one I call the Insane Scout build. Now this Scout build is just for picking up power on Insane or Inconceivable. Now to start with again is Deposit Bonus, Health Boost, Pickup Radius, because you're going to be picking up power. Fourth skill is Health Regeneration Boost, and fifth skill is the new skill Dodge or Speed, depending on what you like. Now personally, I really like Dodge, it really helps. And essentially on Insane, if you're playing with an experienced group, what's going to happen is you're going to get down to the last couple enemies and then go out and get your power, because at say wave 30, 40, you're going to get down so fast you really can't run around the map anymore. So in this instance, I really like dodge just because you can run out real quick and get the power. But I know there are also a lot of people that really like speed, and I like speed a lot too, but you know, it's just a preference. Scout build number 4, I call this the Scout melee build. Now this build will create tremendous amounts of power. Now I would only recommend this build maybe casual through hardcore. You can use it on insane, maybe 1 through 10 waves, but after that you're going to get down pretty easy. Now to start with, again, deposit bonus, health boost, and the new skill execution bonus. Now this will give you huge amounts of power, and the kicker here is that melee kills count as executions. So all you need to do with the Scout is just melee kill everything you can safely, and you're going to get massive amounts of power. Now to do this, your 4th skill is going to be Brawler. Now this increases the amount of melee damage you deal, and it decreases the amount of melee damage you take. So this build is incredibly powerful. Now for the 5th skill, I recommend maybe health regeneration boost. Some people like, again, speed boost. You might want to do rage, whatever you prefer. Now one tip with this build is that the Retro Lancer, you know how you do the Retro Lancer charge, with this build you do so much melee damage, you don't even need to run them through. You can just, you know, shoulder block them and kill them a lot of times. And this build also allows you to execute Scions and Pouncers, so you can just get massive amounts of power with this build. Gears of War 4 Horde Scout tips. Tip number 1, pick up an overkill. The overkill shotgun will allow you to unload up to 8 rounds, and if you have the magazine skill on your Scout, up to 14 rounds super quickly, so you can just dump massive amounts of damage on one target. Now this is ideal for big enemies like the Scions, DRs, and Guardians, and can actually be really powerful against bosses. Now here's a tip that I don't think a lot of people know about the overkill, that you can actually create a charged shot with it. You just shoot one shot, hold in the right trigger, and it will charge up and you release it, and it's going to be a more powerful shot and more precise, which you can pretty much hit stuff at maybe medium range with it. Tip number 2. If you're running deposit bonus, you can boost your power at the beginning of the game by having your teammates that can suicide. Now you've probably seen this before and wondered, what in the world are these guys doing? That's what they're doing. They're blowing themselves up so the Scout can pick them up and get the deposit bonus on their starting power. Tip number 3. Your teammates, as they play, are going to earn power. You get like 10% power for whatever kills you get, goes right on your player. What you can have them do is just kind of store that up, and again, just like starting players blowing themselves up, you can have your teammates during the game blow themselves up, preferably at the end of the wave, and just pick up their power and get that deposit bonus on it. Tip number 4. You can recycle fortifications. Now if you have a fortification that gets blown up during the wave, you can actually pick it up and get the deposit bonus on it. Now the Coalition has nerfed this way down from what it used to be, but you can still get bonus power on it with your deposit bonus. Now some players will still cycle like decoys, they put them out and let them get destroyed on purpose, and it does work to a certain degree. Me personally, I don't really do this anymore just because it really isn't worth the hassle, but you know, you can do it and it does work. Tip number 5, and this is for insane or inconceivable, where even if your Scout is maxed out with everything, you can still get down pretty easy. Now one way you can do it is wait until there's maybe 3 or 4 or 5 enemies on screen and then run out and get the power. The issue here is that sometimes you can have some trigger happy teammates that go ahead and kill everything before you can pick up the power. And one thing I like to do is I like to make small runs, make multiple runs during a wave. So I'll just run out, pick up the power right in front of the base, deposit it, run out a little further and do it again. That way we're getting the majority of the power doubled. If you are looking to stay up to date on the latest Gears of War 4 news, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Until next time guys, this is Chris. Have an awesome one.
Feel your soul with the soil from a shout